Hey everyone, it's been about 11 months since I did my first Blu-ray collection video detailing what's been in my collection, what I've been building up in the first several months that I had my Blu-ray player, and now that I have the HD TV, I've definitely been focusing on the HD format far more than anything else, and so I figured it'd be kind of a nice time to go ahead and give you guys a nice update on how the collection has expanded, along with giving you a few little insights and stories into a couple of films. Gonna be very selective because there's a lot to get through, and I don't want to make this an overlong video. Make it as succinct as possible while still giving you something interesting to go through instead of just blazing through everything. So, like I said, there's a lot to get through, and I want to give you guys a little bit of insight into some of the ideas I've been going around about stuff I have reviewed and stuff that I have kind of teased about reviewing in the near future. So let's jump into the collection with, well, the same old thing that I started the collection out last time. That was the Alien Anthology Blu-ray set. And I've been getting requests to do a Alien retrospective on the entire franchise, do it all in one video. And I do have an inkling to do the Alien films, but this is gonna tie into when I get to one of the Terminator films I have on Blu-ray at the moment. That I did the Terminator film reviews as it intended to be a big, long, complete retrospective video. Big, long thing, one interconnected, long video instead of breaking it up as I ended up doing into separate reviews of each film. And let's just say if I had tried to put that all into one gigantic video, it would have been like 90 minutes long at the bare minimum. So it's like, thinking about the Alien films, and especially with knowing the documentaries that I've watched on every one of these films are on this set, there's a lot of depth to get into with these films, and I don't think that I could do them all as one complete video. There'd be so much depth and detail to get into that if I did try to do it, it might end up rivaling like that Final Destination retrospective, or even more than that. And let me say, the Final Destination video was a very big piece of a big hunk of junk to get through. Probably like 3 weeks for me to do it, from beginning of watching the films to the completion of editing on the whole thing. So it's a lot of time taken out. So it's like, if I'm going to do the Alien films, I'll probably highlight one film a piece. But I do want to get some distance between the ones I might do and the ones my friend Oliver Harper has done on his channel, starting with Alien and Aliens from just a couple of months ago, to kind of make sure I can have a fresh perspective and I don't feel like I'm reiterating a lot of stuff that would be very fresh in my mind from his reviews. So I want to make sure that when I go ahead and do these, that it feels like I have something very unique to offer my viewpoints on the Alien films, which I do have some. I have written reviews for the first two films back on the WordPress blog, which if you'd like to, you can go hunt those down, but they're not as up to date, especially with Aliens itself, as what I would like to be. So let's just say that. So to the people who are asking me for it, there is a desire to do it. I just have to wait for the certain point in time, because also you got two different versions of 4 different films, 2 hours apiece, 8 movies, 8 versions to watch. That's 16 hours of watching film just for a video. So it's like, definitely have to break that up over time. Can't do it in one long shot. So speaking of various versions of films, the Army of Darkness Scream Factory Shout Factory Collector's Edition release, which I bought at Best Buy when it was released, and it's like, fantastic. I just have not gotten the time to sit down and watch this thing yet, and I really, really want to, because I've also fallen a bit behind on Ash vs. Evil Dead. I try to get up on it, but I kind of fall off with how my Saturdays go when the new episodes air. I get home just about when the thing would start airing, so I kind of like, I miss it, and then things have just been not kind of falling into line there, but I do intend to get caught back up. But they did have a replacement disc program, because I guess there was some sort of footage or whatnot missing from the first and third discs of this 3-disc set, with different cuts, because they have the U.S. theatrical, the international cut, and the director's cut on this thing. So I did ended up applying for that, and I did get my replacement discs. So this is up to date and fantastic. I did have looked at some of the quality of the transfers on here, and they look very damn good. And I can't imagine there'll ever be a more definitive set for this film than you're going to get from this release. So, moving on, we got a couple of different things here. I got to kind of highlight. Yeah, I still have Amazing Spider-Man 2, and I don't know if I'll ever rewatch it again. I keep wanting to upgrade the first film to Blu-ray, but it's like I should have done it over the holiday season where the prices were really low. Could have gotten it for like $6, but we'll see. I mean, when I have the inkling to want to watch it again, I'll probably force myself into making that exchange, because I've also been earlier this week I decided to clean out a couple of DVDs from my collection, my vast collection over here. I just felt it was getting kind of cluttered. There's a couple of titles in there I just don't watch anymore, or I wanted to upgrade a few of them to Blu-ray, which technically the next film that I'm waiting on would be coming up shortly here, but I sold off my DVD of Big Trouble in Little China to finally get the Blu-ray of it, and again, should have bought it over the holiday season because they had it for like $6 at like Best Buy, but I found a good deal for it online, so it's being shipped here, so it'll get here eventually. But Batman The Dark Knight Returns Deluxe Edition, because I've had the DVDs. The 2-part DVD says, like, I need this thing in one shot. I need this thing as one long, seamless film. And I had an inkling here because we have Batman vs. Superman coming up in just over 2.5 months. I might review this. I might delve into this, and you might see if you can see past the shadows. I do have the trade paperback. It's not technically a graphic novel because they released it in separate issues leading up to this. So it's a trade paperback of The Dark Knight Returns. I might read that before I review this, but let's just not get overzealous with the amount of time I might have leading up to something like this. But maybe. That's the main reason I decided to get this, because maybe. So, and tying into a little Batman thing, because I just posted up the review of The Revenant, which was directed by Alejandro Inarritu, and Birdman. The Birdman and Revenant director, Alejandro, have his Blu-ray here, and it's like, I didn't even realize it, that I had my poster of Michael Keaton as Batman in the background of the Revenant review, which is directed by the same guy who did Birdman, starring Michael Keaton, and loosely based on sort of the fact that he was Batman. It's weird thing here and everything. It's like, just strange. The whole situation was very strange, and I haven't watched this thing. I haven't watched it since I saw it in the theater. I'll eventually will, I'm sure I will. Just it's always about getting in the right mood to revisit a film at some point, but there you go. And now we got our Ridley Scott double shot here. Black Rain, which I did my review of last April. Go watch it. Absolutely fantastic, underrated film in his filmography. It's fantastic. And of course, we got Blade Runner, which this Sunday I will be seeing this film for the first time theatrically, because obviously this will be outdated any time past the following week after I post this, but the fact of the matter is I will have seen this because Cinemark always does their classic series of showing classic films back on the big screen, and this is one of them. I've never seen it theatrically, and I absolutely need to, because when I saw Alien theatrically because of Cinemark, it enhanced my experience with that film. I actually became immersed and enveloped in the film so much that I did end up getting what the film really needed to get for me after all these years. It's like I knew I needed to do that with Blade Runner, because Blade Runner has never affected me deeply, but it's always been such a fascinating, gorgeous movie that I've always appreciated on just at least that level, and you have to have it on Blu-ray too to get that quality of the visuals overall, because I've had the DVD set, sold that off when I got this, and now we got Jason Bourne Steelbooks for all 3 of the Matt Damon Bourne films. Don't ask me about Bourne Legacy. I was bored out of my skull. But, you know, we got, now Matt Damon, Paul Greengrass are coming back. We're getting a new Jason Bourne film later this year. It might be an inkling to do like a trilogy retrospective video. Maybe. I tried to do a review of Bourne Identity last summer, and it didn't quite didn't click with me at a certain time. Really get the passion drawing out. So I figure I might be better off doing all 3 films into one video to really encapsulate all my passion and concentrate it in one complete shot there. So fantastic there. And now we've got good old Marvel stuff. Winter Soldier, Captain America here. Because still I think of the ones they've released so far, might change after Civil War, who knows, but highest quality one I think Marvel Studios has put out yet. The one I think did everything well, did everything great, made a good solid thick story to delve these characters into and really create a very full, saturated film full of character and emotion and action, where everything was very well balanced, very high marks for the Russo brothers making this film as great as it was. And another new Blu-ray I just got, because I've had the Casino Royale Collector's Edition on DVD, which is a fantastically beautiful little set over here. Digipack, I love the look of it. I'm very hard to part with it because it's just such a great sort of display piece or whatnot, but it's my favorite Bond film. I might finally do a review of it this year. I gotta get it on Blu-ray. And I did get it again for a very low cost. It was insanely cheap. Because they had this at my local resale shop for about $13. I found it on like Amazon or eBay for half the price. No doubt. Favorite Bond film. And it's interesting that when, I'll probably mention it in one of my review or whatnot, but just quickly, when I leading up to this film, I didn't think it was going to be a great Bond film, but fact matters that it is my favorite. Became great. And just like I ended up seeing this on a midnight screening, well, I had to be at work at like 6 o'clock a.m. the next day. Wasn't the best idea, but the fact of the matter is it was worthwhile in retrospect anyway, because it was that long ago. And of course we got Chronicles of Riddick, which should still be somewhere on the review slate schedule to eventually get around to it. And the only thing is, really should have picked a different one, because you can see it's kind of all bent out of proportion there. So it's like, I'm not terribly nitpicky about the quality of this stuff. I'm not going to cry tears over it, but it's like it's that little nitpicking, nagging thing there. And moving on here, we got sort of something that would be a great crime double feature with Collateral and Drive, which are two films that I certainly would still have an interest in reviewing at some point. But we'll see how it goes along when I get the drive and interest to do so, because these are, no pun intended there, to actually cover these very in-depth type of films. But these are two fantastic films of the genre. If you love the genre of crime stories, neo-noir stuff, these are really high on the pinnacle list of that sort of thing. But moving on, got a little bit of science fiction action here, because of course Tom Cruise, Edge of Tomorrow, Live Die Repeat, whatever you want to call it, it's a fantastically fun, energetic, cool movie. Absolutely need to rewatch this again. It's just like one of those films, you just get a great fresh sense of joy watching this film. It's just so energetic and so funny and so great. Just Doug Liman's direction, Tom Cruise, Emily Blunt. I'm a Tom Cruise fan. If he does something great like this, I am just so much of a strong endorser of it. And of course, one of my longest reviews of last year was the Escape from New York Shout Factory release here, which was about 50 minutes long, and it's still a fantastic set, fantastic film, so go watch my review. And Ex Machina, which I do need to rewatch. I've only watched this once, and that was when I rented it from Redbox as a DVD rental. I have yet to watch it really in HD, but it's like, it's definitely among the best films of the year for me anyway. I know that I've seen some people who don't feel so strongly about it. They didn't catch it. This film didn't catch as many people greatly as you might want. But I mean, you always got to remember, for every film that you love, someone hates it. And for every movie you hate, there is someone who loves it. So there's always a divide somewhere. But the fact of the matter is, I really found something interesting in this. Want to revisit this to get a lot more depth into it, get a lot more into it, and just look deeper beyond the aesthetics of the film and everything I got from it originally. And get into a little horror here, that we get some Exorcist stuff. Got Exorcist 3 on Blu-ray this past couple of months, October, whatnot, and just figured, why the hell not? I think it was, I think it was ordering Blade Runner and something else off of online, and I needed to get something to boost it up to get the free shipping. I figured, why the hell not? It's one of my favorite horror films, and despite some rumors recently, no, there's no director's cut coming out that the rumors that there was going to be a director's cut for Exorcist 3 were shot down. That British film critic Mark Commode did come out and said, I talked with Blatty, it's all false, it's not happening. So where these rumors start off from, who knows, but as long as they get shot down and don't go run on forever, it becomes something that they're not. But the first Exorcist, I did want to have this reviewed this past October, but honestly, as I mentioned in previous vlogs, I just didn't have the time to do it because things just got out of hand and I lost the pacing that I was trying to go for. And I'll certainly re-evaluate how I want to approach Forever Horror Month this year, because I do want to get a lot of stuff done because I get really passionate about just getting as much horror content done, but I think I'll focus on fewer films and try to just approach it in a different fashion. But this would still, as of this moment, still be on the list because certainly a lot to get into, and it is a classic horror film that deserves a certain amount of analytical type of thing going for it. And another one I recently picked up was For Your Eyes Only, more James Bond, this time Roger Moore, in this fantastic steelbook casing. Very slick, very nice, digital codes and everything. I don't think I'm going to use that, but maybe I'll give it away at some point, but who knows. But saw this on, because for a little while Hulu had a bunch of the Bond films that were now gone off the system now. And it's like when we're leading up to Spectre, I ended up watching this one. It's like, I really enjoyed this. It was nice and fun and good. And just kind of waited around. I was like, I wasn't quite, when I first saw the thing on sale, I was like, I wasn't going to jump on it right away because I didn't think I was going to watch it right away. Wasn't going to buy something that I have to sit around for months and not watch it. But the sale was coming to an end, so I bought it on the last day of the sale. So I figured, what the hell, $10? Why can't you go for Blu-ray Steelbook for $10? But GoldenEye, of course, the first Bond film I ever saw in the theater, because my sister was a big Pierce Brosnan fan from Remington Steele, and we went, we saw it, and it's still one of my favorite Bond films to this day, and it's still one of the best. It's still a solid film with a few flaws here and there, but it's still a solid film. It's probably Brosnan's best outing as Bond. So there you go. And of course we got Ghostbusters, which was the DVD of Ghostbusters, was the very first DVD I ever purchased, and so ended up having to do the upgrade. You gotta do it. For Ghostbusters, you definitely deserve to have this in a fantastically 4K mastered Blu-ray, and this includes the first and second film, so why not go for it, you know? And that was about a year ago I got that, and of course another film I reviewed last year was The Guest. Fantastically 1980s style psychological thriller that blends action and horror and different types of odd genres or whatnot together in this interesting blend of style and just awesomeness all over the place, and fantastic soundtrack. And of course, get a big chunk of this out of the way, the whole Halloween Deluxe Edition set and everything, because I had bonus points earned up from work, from sales, meaning sales goals and everything, so I figured, why the hell not? I can afford it with the bonus points I have, might as well buy it. Why not? And jumping over this way, the first Blu-ray TV set I've gotten is Hannibal Season 3, which I didn't get through the whole season because it's weird for me with television shows. There are very few television shows that I just stick with as a regimented schedule. Other stuff, if it's on the wrong day of the week that it gets aired, I just completely lose track of it, and I just don't. It falls by the wayside. You should find out what happened with Justified from FX or there. I ended up being like 3 seasons behind on the show by the time it ended. I kept buying the DVD sets trying to catch up, but I never did. So it's like, I got Hannibal Season 3. I got Season 1 on DVD. I don't have Season 2. So I kept getting the DVD sets for TV shows because I've got a 5-disc DVD changer over there, so it makes it easy for binge watching. But I figured HGTV now, gotta get the Blu-ray set. So that was on sale when it got released, and there you go. And a little bit more horror action here. You got a double feature of When a Stranger Calls and Happy Birthday to Me, because Chuck Dowling over at Water Cooler Films here on YouTube, I follow his 31 horror films in 31 days, a nice review series he has every single Halloween season, and he highly recommended Happy Birthday to me. And I always ended up going to a store that had these Mill Creek DVD sets, and it's like $4. Damn, the movie's fucking great. This is a great slasher film. Absolutely. I'm surprised no one's ever recommended this film before. And you can go watch my When a Stranger Calls retrospective about the 3 films in that franchise to know what I feel about that film. Great opening, but rest of the stuff isn't so fantastic. But a little more Michael Mann. I got this and one other Michael Mann film, which was the first Blu-ray I got, which was Thief. Heat, which I just sold the damn DVD set off for. And the only thing I'm regretful of selling the DVD set off for me is because the menus on the DVD set are fantastic. I love them. This thing has the worst, cheapest Blu-ray menu I've ever seen. Terrible, but the fact of the matter is, the film is in HD, it's remastered, approved by Michael Mann. He made one slight edit in the film, which I'm not probably going to begrudge or anything, but the fact of the matter was, it was a couple bucks at Best Buy. I was on a kick to buy something. I got Heat. Gotta have Heat. So Collateral, Heat, Thief are the ones I have at this point in time, and Shout Factory is doing a Manhunter, like a definitive edition release, like sometime this summer, so god damn it, I can't wait to see what the specs on that thing are going to be, because I've been waiting forever to someone do a definitive version of that. And of course Highlander, I did this review back in November, and I don't think I have to say much about it. I still have the DVD over there because it has some things on it that the Blu-ray doesn't, but fantastic. If I was going to do the review, I needed to get the Blu-ray, and it was like, again, $5, so fantastic to get these things damn cheap. And Jack Ryan's Shadow Recruit, which was the film I saw in the theater, where I mentioned in my Revenant review that this was the one theater that was showing Revenant on Christmas with the terrible seats that are very uncomfortable, and I didn't want to sit in that theater for 2.5 hours and have my ass all sore and everything. But no, I have yet to rewatch this since I bought it about a year ago, and I figure one time I'm just going to want to sit down and watch some random generic action movie, and this will be here. But it's been on Netflix on and off. Maybe you didn't need to actually buy it, but whatever the case. And this was the movie I did want to review at the start of 2016 for obvious reasons, because the name of the film is The January Man. And even the fact that the actual tagline of the film is Murder, Corruption, Comedy, what a way to start the year. Would have been nice for that to be the first review of the year and I have it actually have a certain sense of context. But it's not a great film. I have watched this several months ago. I rented it, and I thought it was okay. I saw the flaws in it, but I thought there was something to actually address with a critique of the film that I would have been interested to do, but whatever the case, I just didn't feel as strongly into the film this time around, and so it just really didn't quite hook me in to really kind of create the mindset that I need to be in to really kind of do a analytical type of review. So maybe next year. There's always another January coming around, and but a much better film is Jaws. And I don't think I need to say much about Jaws because it's Jaws. It's Steven Spielberg. It's one of the best films I've ever seen. Long list. That would certainly be a long list to list, but Fetch Marriage is a fantastic film that took me way too damn long to get around to actually seeing. I didn't see this film until maybe 4 years ago or something like that. I have seen it in the theater twice, and it's a fantastic experience, but I need to watch the Blu-ray more often and get through some of the documentary features on this, because, damn it, if I ever wanted to do a review of it, I have to watch the documentary. And, of course, we get the fantastic John Wick, which the sequel is coming out sometime later this year. Thank you. I hope it's as good as the original, or at least is still a good film. Don't make it a shit film. Make it a good, solid film, because apparently you also have Lawrence Fishburne in the sequel, which says enough. And I think they're also bringing back Ian McShane, who I loved in the film. Excellent actor, and it's like wonderful fucking action movie. And more action with the Bond, Timothy Dalton films, which don't get their just due. I keep seeing the Dalton films completely getting disregarded. It's time and time again. People make lists of some of the best Bond films of all time, and these don't get mentioned at all sometimes. It's like, I don't know. I don't know why people who love the Daniel Craig films, but they don't give the Dalton films any recognition. It's like, I don't know why. But the fact of the matter is, I think these are two good films. I've usually enjoyed License to Kill more than Living Daylights, but I think just on the quality of cinematography, adding more to the film, despite License to Kill having the far superior villain, I do kind of like Living Daylights a little bit more because I think it uses its visuals a much more stronger type of way, and has a bit more of that grandiose Bond feeling, that sort of wide scale that the Bond films really have. So this might be something that teeter-totters back and forth for me over time. But a couple of films released this year, action films. We've got our Mad Max Fury Road, and we've got our Mission Impossible Rogue Nation on Steelbook Blu-ray, which is again a nice, shiny, smooth type of thing, just like the For Your Eyes Only set that usually you get steelbooks with the matte finish like the Bourne ones and the Riddick ones and everything, but I like that this thing's kind of like smooth and glossy and whatnot. It gives a nice sheen to it. So it's really nice having these films. So we got going on kind of long here, but the fact that is going to pick up the speed because we got more Keanu with The Matrix. Fantastic film. Massive upgrade from the DVD. Massive. At least from the original DVD. Massive upgrade. And the one that just showed up today because I had to replace my old non-anamorphic DVD because taste your might. It's Mortal Kombat. The original. The one. None of the sequels. None of the other shit. Just this one. Just this one. That's all I need. Just give me this one. I'm happy. I don't need the other crap. Leave it alone. And we got Guillermo del Toro here with Pacific Rim. And just a fantastic film. I kept seeing it on FX and HD, and it's like, this thing looks so fucking gorgeous. I need to get rid of the fucking DVD. I need the HD version of this movie. It looks absolutely phenomenal. But getting a little further along here, gonna pick up the pace a little bit. But Pitch Black, you saw my review of it a couple months ago, and I again tend to pick up and do Chronicles of Riddick. My Point Break Blu-ray review will come. It will come in a matter of weeks, hopefully. That's all I'm gonna say now. I'm gonna leave all the anticipation building for that, and my Poltergeist 3 Blu-ray, where I did my review of it earlier this year, and Prometheus, which is another film I really like to rewatch again and get a full sense of it, because never really got a complete sense of the film. But the fact of the matter is, I thought it was interesting, intriguing enough. It was beautiful to look at, amazing score, so many good things. And it's kind of sad, because it's been a year since I did my first Blood review, and I've yet to get around to reviewing the final, apparently, Rambo film, because Stallone recently has said he's retiring the character of John Rambo, despite even in the last year, you'll go back and watch my first Blood review, and I say at the end of the thing that we're supposed to be getting a last Blood film that Stallone's been talking about, and now he's decided after doing Creed and wanting to do more of that, and apparently more Expendables movies, but no more Rambo. Oh well, what are you gonna do? And Return of the Living Dead, funny movie, go for it. And of course we got Riddick, and again, speaking Rocky and stuff here, again, Rocky Heavyweight Collection, and my Blu-ray of The Shadow here, from Shout Factory, which I provided a little bit of content from this for my friend Oliver Harper's retrospective on the film, because he had gotten the German Blu-ray, which had a lot more archival type of stuff and a few other interviews that it didn't have a certain retrospective featurette on here, which was not up to the usual Shout Factory quality standards, but they probably did it as quick and dirty as they could, just to get a little something extra on there, but not expend a great deal of cost for it, because it probably is still probably just a cult film, really. It's not a film that's widely popular or whatnot, but myself breath there. Sicario. Gonna rewatch this soon. Blu-ray just purchased, and poster on the wall. Obviously one of my favorite films of the year. Denis Villeneuve, masterful director, man. The guy kicks my ass every time. And another film from this year, Southpaw, which I've talked about before. Thought was a very intense type of film, very gritty and just very gripping, despite some very familiar and overly treaded material. I thought the execution and performances were very high quality. And another thing that I decided to lay down a little extra money for, to upgrade from the DVDs I've had, which were Ninja Turtles. I've had the original 1990 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle film. See, I'm falling apart here. The original 1990 live-action Turtles film and the animated feature from, I think, 2007. I don't have to worry about the sequels, but I figured it'd be a lot easier to just putting up a little extra cash after what I need to trade in this past week and just get the full set instead of piecemealing the first and second films from online purchases and whatnot. So it's like, we do have a Turtles sequel coming up this year. I didn't see the first one, but I might review the animated feature later this year if the mood strikes me. But I felt I just need to clean out some of the clutter. And it's like, if I really love these films, I'd like to have them on the best quality possible. And of course, now Terminator 2 Judgment Day. Of course, I got this when I did the Terminator reviews earlier, about 6 months ago, whatnot. And as I said, the original idea was to actually do all the Terminator films as one long retrospective single video, which would have been excessively long. Too much so, it's like, I can't release this way. So, after a little bit of just reaching out to social media, it's like, what should I really do? Is just like break it up into separate videos, and that's what I ended up doing. But it was a very arduous process that I had to reshoot new intros, new segments of the whole thing to get the format properly as separate individual videos, intros, outros, endings, all this type of stuff to make it work. And I'd even shot a segment of that retrospective review video on the Terminator Sarah Connor Chronicles television series, which was about as general as I possibly could make it, because I only got about 2/3 of the way through the series again. So it was like, I just decided that was enough. Covering the films was enough. When I got to the post-production stages of everything, splitting up into separate videos, decided enough's enough. That's all I'm going to do. The on-camera footage is gone. Don't ask me to try and do it. I'm not going to do it. Michael Mann's Thief. The first Blu-ray I bought before I even had a Blu-ray player, because it's a DVD Blu-ray combo pack. And it's like, even though, yeah, I did my review, even if the color timing's a little not terribly high to my standards or liking, still good to have this thing in Blu-ray. Still good to have it instead of that horrible, horrible DVD we've had for eons. Fantastic looking Blu-ray set. So, thank you, Criterion Collection, again. And I'm just going to pass through this one and not explain anything. Let's get past that, and probably this one too. So, why do I have it? I don't know why I still have it. Probably shouldn't have it anymore. But, wrapping up here, there's not terribly anything greatly new. This is all the same stuff I had about the time I did the last video. So, Walk Among the Tombstones, just intense. Just a great type of film that I'd love to see something more like this released on a regular basis, because it's just something that I really, really like. Dark, gritty, disturbing type of detective noir type of stuff, just like I said before. It's very much like William Friedkin style type of thing, like French Connection, whatever it is. It definitely has that vibe and feel to it. Man, it's one of the best films Liam Neeson's done in the last couple of years. Really damn good. And of course, Whiplash. Excellent film. This thing is just brilliant. Blew me away right when it hit the end credits. I'm just like, Jesus Christ. When I saw this thing theatrically, sitting in a not very comfortable chair, fantastic film. The editing in this film is just a marvelous, incredible type of work, and Miles Teller, J.K. Simmons both deserve equal credit with their performances, and everything in the film is a work of art. And World is not enough for James Bond, just for the hell of having more Bond. The Wolverine and more X-Men and everything. So it's like, that's pretty much, that's it. That's all there is. Ending on X-Men. We got X-Men Apocalypse coming up this year, and I'm just psyched. Because, you know me, I saw Days of Future Past, blew me the hell away. It's my favorite film of that year, because it just exceeded all expectations I had for it. Leading up to Days of Future Past, hearing all the rumors I heard, all the speculation, all the stuff I heard, just kind of sprinkled around, disconnected or whatnot, it sounded like it could be a complete mess of a film trying to tidy up the continuity and the timelines of the series, resurrecting characters. The way they ended up doing it was absolutely brilliant. Just brilliant, in my opinion. And The Wolverine, another film I definitely need to rewatch, because another one that came out of nowhere. Leading up to the film, the marketing didn't strike me as great, but the fact of the matter is I saw the film and I really damn loved the film. I thought it was fantastic. So that's a lot of movies. It's a whole lot of hell of a movie, a whole lot of movies, and so I'll be getting more. It's not the end of the whole thing, but might be getting The Martian on Blu-ray when it comes out shortly. Obviously I'm going to have that Big Trouble in Little China Blu-ray coming out, because why the hell not? I saw that film theatrically last year, thanks to Cinemark yet again, and like, I'd never experienced the film that good. I just loved the film so much when I saw it theatrically. It just changes everything. The experience that you go see the film in changes everything. When you're sitting there in a theater, even if there's just one other person in that theater, it doesn't matter. If you're sitting there in a theater with a big screen, surround sound everywhere, you just get an amplified experience, and you're just focused on the film. There's no smartphones around or whatnot to distract you or whatnot. I'm trying to get to the main screen to just like visual aid or whatnot, but it's like there's no smartphones, there's no computers around, there's nothing to just stand up and just distract you. You're focused on the film, you're into the film. When you see it that way, it just changes the entire experience. Instead of just always having watched it on home video, you go and you see it theatrically and you get a whole new appreciation for the film. So it's like, that's what going to a theater really means, to experience it on a different type of level with a different sort of immersion into the film as it is. I've seen so many films theatrically like brought back in theaters, like Terminator 2, like Alien, Back to the Future. I've seen it like 3 times theatrically in re-release. I've seen Ferris Bueller's Day Off. I could list off a whole bunch of other films. Ghostbusters, I think I've seen that twice in re-release. It's fantastic when you have these theater chains that do these types of events or whatnot and allow you to re-watch these films in that type of large format fashion. It's just a completely different experience that's worthwhile. So it's like, whew, it's a lot of talking, and that's a lot of passion. I try to get it as fast and cleanly as done for you guys, but I know there's a lot of repeat stuff in here, but I know hopefully that I said enough things to keep you interested in this video. So I was interested in doing this video again and just get it out of my system, and hopefully you found it interesting. And I don't know what there is much to comment about, but you can comment about any of these films that I have here that certainly some of them are a little questionable of why I have them. That certainly at the time I bought them, I thought they were very entertaining films that had some merit to them. But maybe some of them don't hold much interest to me in repeat viewings, because they sat there and haven't had much rewatch value. But definitely going to have a big year. We got, I can't wait for Force Awakens to be released on Blu-ray, because I need it now. Give it to me now. I want specs released. I want a release date for it. I want to know when I can buy this thing, because I need it. But it's not going to, I will find out what my favorite #1 film of 2015 will be soon. But the fact of the matter is, that's a lot of stuff to get through, and it's like another thing to get behind me and move forward to new stuff here. So 2016, there's just a whole lot of films being released this year. I got like 15, 16 movies in a list that at least have some interest for me moving forward throughout this release schedule in this year. So it's a big year. It's a big year. So thanks guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and that should cover everything with the Blu-rays. You'll never have me go through all the DVD stuff because that'd be like 3-hour video. There's like 500 stuff. I don't know how many there are. It's been so long since I got this stuff. There's hundreds of DVDs over here. Take forever. But that's all I got for you guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll be back soon, hopefully with a proper review of something soon. So, thanks. Take care. Bye-bye.